This Coca-Cola advert falls under the category of a periodic standalone ad. It contrasts a modern-day lifestyle and a lifestyle that our grandpas used to have. It does this by using a split screen to show the audience quite clearly what the difference in the lifestyles were like, but also links them together by having them do the same actions. This advert is periodic on the left-hand side of the screen. It's showing two different generations. The man on the right is the man on the left's grandson. The advert has taken the age of the man that you see on the right and portrayed both men at the same age. The lighting in each side are both very different. The left side is very warm and seems like a natural light, which is the kind of lighting seen in film footage from the time it is based on. The right side is very artificial and bright with almost a blue tint in it. The warm-cold lighting contrast may also be a representation of their walks of life. The grandpa on the left is taking things slow and enjoying life, you could say feeling warm. Whereas the grandson on the left is doing everything very quickly and tiring himself out incredibly fast, or being cold. The editing of this advert is very fast-paced. It shows two people's day throughout a split screen in the space of a minute, only showing you what they want you to see, which is few snippets of their life that match up. Every clip of footage is matched up almost perfectly to one next to it. Sure, we know what they're meant to be, the same or a close comparison. Including the typewriter could be a way of targeting the elderly as they feel nostalgic looking back on those times and makes them lean towards the advert emotionally. The music fits in with the advert and the message it is trying to convey. The song is incredibly feel-good and the lyrics are constantly enforcing the idea of feeling good. The song used is also famous, so the majority of the audience should already know it. This means the audience will pay more attention when it is playing and will link the song to the product. As the advert follows a split-screen narrative, the camera angles are very straight on, rather like how you would see in first person. This is effective though, as the audience can take in more of the props and locations in the two time periods. For example, in the kitchen scene, it's very typically older, with the wallpaper, the ceiling and the table and chairs are all noticeably different to the setup on the right-hand side. Like the Maltesers advert, the Coca-Cola advert starts off with two very iconic colours, a red background with writing based on hundreds of stories to introduce the advert. Straight away the audience can familiarise that with the colour of Coke bottles, as that is the colour that they are famous for, even include it in their logo. They have cleverly got a hidden message of the fact they have linked Coca-Cola to living a healthy lifestyle. They are essentially saying that the grandpa is living life so easy because he drinks their product. When the grandson drinks the Coke, it is implied that he is following his grandpa's healthy lifestyle. You could then argue that this is misleading, as Coca-Cola is not all that healthy when not paired with a balanced diet. This advert could suggest to people that if they don't make any changes to their lifestyle but add Coca-Cola to their current diet, they will instantly be healthier. Coca-Cola has a target audience of all ages and all groups. This particular advert, however, is aimed at the older age group, which is Group E. It is reassuring people who may not feel that they can do that many things due to their age that it is okay to still live an active, healthy lifestyle. Coca-Cola tries to theme their adverts in a way that can target everyone. So this particular advert is standalone and shows that the lifestyle enjoyed by our grandparents can be just as beneficial as the lifestyle we ourselves lead, and that it's good to take it easy, move more and eat well. This advert fitted this message into a one-off ad, which promotes a healthy lifestyle by linking Coca-Cola with healthy choices and lots of energy, which then encourages the audience to buy the product. The emotional response is pathos. It is used to create a nostalgic feel throughout the advert, which tugs onto the audience's heartstrings. We have an emotional investment in our health, so the constant use of the words healthy and healthier make us want to buy the product more because of the suggestion it will make us healthier. This is also an example of weasel words. The advert also uses plain folks as it associates with everyone's normal day. The advert shows that through time, technology has changed, but the one thing that's remained the same is everybody's love for Coca-Cola. The unique selling point is that it offers a healthy lifestyle along with the product. The advantage that Coca-Cola has over other similar products is that it is most well known and loved, and its adverts tend to be the ones people remember, much like the Coca-Cola Christmas advert. The lifestyle appeal is always very fun and bubbly, and always comes with a positive effect of having and drinking the product.
This advert falls under the category of surreal animation. The advert seems to be set in a desert-looking location, much like the area we see in the movie Cars. What's similar about the two is that this advert is in animation throughout the whole video. This way it appeals to a younger target audience, as they are the types of people who will most likely be keen on buying and using this product. Also, the bright colours and movement will entertain really young children. The theme tune is extremely catchy and memorable, and therefore it's likely to get stuck in people's heads and allow them to remember the advert. Small children may also sing it in public places, meaning it will become almost contagious amongst lots of people. It's a very simplistic advert in the fact that it doesn't use facts or figures to promote the product. It uses animation and special effects to attract the younger audiences, as their attention in order to remember the product needs to be captured at all times. This advert was originally made in the 80s, and the Milky Way have decided to bring it back to televisions recently. This will also appeal to adults because they will remember this advert from when they were children, which will also to encourage them to start buying Milky Way for their children if they ate it as a child. This advert is a standalone advert, and therefore this advert stands out in people's minds as the Milky Way advert, rather than having a series that are less likely to follow along with or remember if they don't watch much television. The camera angles tend to be level with the cars. I think this is so the target audience feel almost like they are with the cars. The more involved they feel, I think the more they will remember the products, the more they will associate the ad with Mars bars. At the end, the camera angle is slightly high angle to show the success of the protagonist, the blue car, and its victory to making the Milky Way. This makes the audience immediately feel emotion, whether that's happy for the blue car or not. There are a series of different shot types throughout the advert. As this is a fairly fast-paced advert, the shot types are mainly wide angle in order to fit all the action onto the screen. As the advert features the two cars doing different things at the same time, there are also mid-shots and close-ups, mainly of the red car as it jumps around eating various objects. One of the shots that stands out the most is the low angle shot of the two cars driving towards the camera. This creates a 3D style effect. There are also some tracking shots following the cars as they drive around the racetrack. This is so the audience can follow the action without consistently switching and cutting angles. This advert also displays a lot of iconography in the images and animation that Milky Way use. For example, the advert uses a lot of exaggerated sounds, for example, the sound of the red car munching, brake screeching, etc. This is adding to the animation effects, as most cartoons use a lot of exaggerated sound effects. In order to highlight that this advert is set in a deserted western part of America, Milky Way have chosen to add lots of stereotypical objects in order to show this. For example, the major clues are that the area is covered in sand and there are cacti, etc. The use of this setting allows the bright colours of the cars and the signs, etc., and make them stand out a lot to create a positive vibe. The style of this advert is surreal, as it follows an anti-realist narrative of two cars having a race. Only seconds into the advert, you see a red car jump up a cactus to try and tug it off the road as it acts as an obstacle in the competitive race. This is surreal due to the fact that cars don't do this, but in a child's imagination it's more likely to stick in their mind. You also see the red car swallow up a whole lorry. This shows the use of antagonistic and protagonistic in the ad, as the child can choose to either cheer on the red car or cheer on the blue, so a way it ties in with the movie Cars, which is a loved animation by many young children. This advert is also lightly humorous for the younger audiences, as the red car is eating lots of objects such as giant trucks, cacti, etc. that small children may find amusing. As this is an animated advert, the entire advert is made up of computer graphics. As this advert was made in the 80s, the animation is fairly simplistic with a grainy, slightly washed out effect. This highlights how old the advert is, which in the 80s would have been perfectly normal and how most adverts and other animated entertainment would be. But bringing it back in 2009 and leaving the same effect untouched meant that if you had not seen the advert when it first came out in the 80s, you can still understand that the advert had been made a while ago. The hidden message embedded within this advert of the actions of the red and the blue car is that eating a Milky Way bar will allow you to be very fit and agile and give you lots of energy, and eating lots of junk food will make you full and unable to perform the same task that you would if you ate just a Milky Way bar. The overt messages that the ASA may have an issue with is that some viewers may be made to believe that eating a Milky Way bar will make you fitter, which is not true. Another hidden message is embedded in the song when the lyrics say, "Smart old blue, he took the Milky Way," which indicates to the audience that they will become smarter if they eat Milky Way bars. I have touched on the hidden messages that this advert is telling the audience what this product offers. However, at the end of the advert, the 80s advert reads, "The sweet you can eat between meals that doesn't ruin your appetite." This clearly states that the Milky Way bar is not filling as other chocolate bars, which means that you can eat them whenever you like without causing you to miss a meal. This is aimed at younger children, as they are usually the ones who like to snack in between meals and are often told by their parents that they can't because it will ruin their dinner. It also indicates that other chocolate bars will ruin your appetite, and therefore the Milky Way bar is the obvious choice. The editing of this advert is very fast-paced with lots of quick cuts to different shots. They do not use any special transitions or effects between cuts, they simply just cut from one shot to the other. This is so they are able to fit a lot of action into a short period of time, so that the advert is quick and fairly simple without spending time using complex transitions between shots, and the audience find it much easier to follow along with what's going on. As this advert is an animated advert, the lighting does not play a huge part in the confections of this advert. However, Milky Way have chosen to use a high contrast in this advert to make all of the colours really bright. This is to attract younger audiences to watch this advert, as a really small child would be mesmerised by the really strong colours. Also, in 2009 remake of the advert, the only difference is that they have changed the slogan at the end to read "Lighten up and play," which will promote the audience to believe that Milky Way bar promotes a healthy lifestyle and that it will give you enough energy to be able to play. Overall, I think this advert is a very unique selling point. It appeals to a range of different target audience, which subsequently builds the overall target audience as a family, which appeals to all members of a typical family, for example, parents, children, toddlers.
I'll be talking about the Maltesers advert from the popular series that features the two middle-aged women played by Catherine Parkinson and Amanda Abington. There is a lot of iconography. You can also see within the first second of the advert that it includes a packet of Maltesers placed on the counter above the washing machine. This is effective as it tells the audience exactly what the product is, without it even being addressed yet. We see the other woman with a packet of Maltesers in her hand, midway through eating. She has a smile on her face to show the audience that it is good, so they're more likely to go out and buy the product.
A bit naughty though.
I've also noticed that the word naughty has proven to be popular in these adverts.
187 calories of naughtiness, actually.
What's also effective is that at the beginning of the advert we hear the blonde woman say, "Bit naughty though," which is quickly interrupted by the sound-alike of Bridget Jones, who replies with, "Only 187 calories of naughtiness, actually." From the success of the films to the audience, they should actually pick up on her voice and were more likely to remember the advert from the celebrity endorsement. We associate Bridget with chocolate and her battles with feeling overweight, which is contrasted well with the idea that Maltesers is actually better for you than most other chocolate. In a way, this is quite a hidden message, because in the film Bridget does get the man in the end, which may be misleading for people who would actually believe that would happen if they were to start eating Maltesers.
These are my best jeans ever.
The camera angle mainly stays eye level with the two women, which enables the audience to see the shot and location in more detail as if they were just in the room. Two shots are very popular in this advert as the women are in conversation, which makes us seem realistic to the audience. The editing is very fast-paced as it is constantly switching between the two women as they make conversation. As an audience, this grips our attention and makes us want to watch more and find out what's going to happen next. It also allows us to see a lot in a shorter space of time. This way we can still gain from all the important parts, even if it's for only 30 seconds.
These are my best jeans ever.
The sound of the advert is created by the two women talking, which is mainly non-diegetic. However, I notice that the sound that seems more prominent is the sound made from the washing machine. I think this is because it emphasises the plot joke in more detail. In a way, this appeals to the audience as they are aware of what's meant to be the most significant thing in the advert. When you hear Bridget Jones's diegetic sound is produced, and the other characters don't actually hear what she's saying, that make up this advert, which include a close-up of the Barbie doll that is used to swap with the woman's trousers, making them look as though they have shrinked. We see a close-up of the washing machine, as it is a key part of the plot. The audience may even feel like they can relate to what's happening in the scenario.
Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
A lot of natural light comes in from the windows in the kitchen. In addition to that, the walls and tabletops are white with pale blue counters and tiling, which all adds to give it a brighter feel to the audience. This gives a subconscious message to the audience that the advert is going to be funny or happy, as we know to associate lighter colours with happy feelings.
I'll be able to fit into those.
No.
The techniques used in this advert is to get an emotional response from the audience. They do this in two ways, using pathos and logos. I think the advert is designed to make you laugh, which is effective as that they've placed two typically British middle-aged women put in a typically normal situation, and then they play off a witty storyline. In this case, it's the swapping of the trousers which gives the audience something to laugh at, as many women sat at home may relate to that with their own washing.
Join the Daily Giggle with Maltesers.
Also, they have taken quite a logical approach to their advertisement, in which the women talk about health statistics and have the white small print at the bottom of the screen saying how many calories per bag. This appeals to health-cautious people who look to statistics to make them feel better about themselves when they go to eat the product. The slogan for this advert reads, "The lighter way to enjoy chocolate," which grabs the audience's attention, as people always look to chocolate and think unhealthy and that it will do more bad than good. The unique selling point from the advert is that it caters for weight-concerning women who usually tend to avoid chocolate. However, the advert includes statistics, for example, how many calories are included in a bag and the weight of them. This is beneficial for the audience, as now they know about the product without even having to go and look for themselves. The target audience for the product are all adult women, as they are predominantly featured in all the adverts. I feel that generally the demographics for the target audience would show many people in group C1, as they are mostly jobs which target a strong female lead and would also give them a lot of time to be at home. In particular, I feel like this would be women who want to give themselves a treat without the hassle of feeling